Alright everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy Heroes video with Fat Phil. So in this video, we're going to kind of combine the concept of core gear farming and crystal efficiency into one. We're going to focus on Chirotechs here. I have a separate Chirotech farming guide that I put out earlier in the month, so I'm going to link that down below. But in this case here, we're going to look at how to be efficient with our crystals, why it's important to actually buy energy refreshes versus trying to, just hoard our crystals to buy these Chirotechs. And this concept applies to a lot of the core gear in the game, as I'll show you guys later on in the video. Before we get into it, thank you to all my subscribers. We hit our goal of 500, so we're going to spend our time with our king, Wampa. If Wampa could, he would subscribe. Unfortunately, when he tries to hit that button, he just destroys whatever gaming device he is trying to use. But we love you with all of our heart, Wampa. You are our king. All right, guys. So, crystals, right? Yes, they're very rare to get, right? We're not going to exaggerate that. Crystals are rare to get. But we're going to go down and I'm going to show you guys on our Geonosian Brood Alpha why we want to farm Chirotechs using crystal refreshes rather than trying to save. As you guys see, it's 28 crystals per piece here, right? 10 Chirotechs cost 280, gets us to 28 per pop. So a crystal refresh costs 50. There's a lot of math here. Just 28 crystals cost. We spent 50 crystals. If I get 2 Chirotechs here, I've saved myself crystals, and we get 3, right? So those 3 Chirotechs cost me roughly 17 crystals per piece, right? Instead of the 28 that I would have paid via shipments for that equivalent number, right, per piece. So I've saved myself plenty of, crystals here, right? It would have been, what I spent 50, it would have been about, I think, what is that? 84, cost, 84 crystals had I bought them via the shipments. And as you guys are seeing here, that concept applies to both stun cuffs, carbonis. Stun guns are only 26 per piece, but again, that same math, I'm still netting myself crystals. There are 2 pieces of gear that I think it's wiser to spend our crystals on because their cost is significantly lower than, the Chirotechs, stun gusts, stun guns. So we're going to come down here, and those are the Mark V thermal detonator, which is, once we get down here, come on, where are you at? There you are. It's 15 crystals per piece here, right? You see 10 gets us, for 150 crystals. So you really need good drop rates to get full advantage of that comparative to the other pieces where 2 gets us, where we're still making money, right? All right, and I say making money, that's the accountant in me where we're saving ourselves crystals. The same thing applies to our Mark III hollow projectors. It's the same cost for the pieces, right? A full piece here is 300. There's 20 salvage pieces there, 15 per piece. Again, another one that I think is worth just if you need to use your crystals. Now, obviously, the farther you get in the game, the more crystals you're going to have. But again, guys, I'm just showing you some math here, right? You can also see that this core gear we can get via the guild store. So this is one of those examples where I'm actually getting those pieces via the guild store, so I don't need to worry about farming them via nodes, and that's why I used Chirotechs as the example, just like I did in my guide. We're also going to look at these relic pieces, right, our signal data, and look at the cost of each of them and show you guys the math behind those as well. So when we go to our weekly shipments and we come down, you're going to see that signal data pieces cost us, the white pieces are 15, the green pieces are 20, and the blues are 30. So this is my free energy, right? So I'm going to do 6 here, and I get 7, which 7 times 15, I think that's going to get us just over our threshold. So we're going to go again, and we get 9, which is well worth our time, right? That saved us 35 crystals, right? I spent 100, I got 9. I would have needed to spend 135 crystals equivalently to get that via the shipments. So we made our money here, right? This was a really good one. Even the 7 that we got with, our free refresh still was a positive score for us, right? It still got us to 105. It would have cost us 105 crystals for those. So in both of these examples, guys, we made out, right? This is a really good, way to save crystals via these signal data pieces. So we're going to continue doing the math here. Whoops, there we go. All right, so now we've got, there we go. So we're going to go back in. I think I'm re-recording this. The first time I did this, guys, there was some background noise I didn't like, so we're going to go back in and just show you again that 20 and 30 is still the accurate numbers for those other signal data pieces here. Keep coming down. There they are. So again, 100 for 2,000 and 50 for 1,500 gives us 20 and 30 crystals respectively. That means that when I go to farm the green signal data pieces here, we need to get 5 of these, right? 5 of these break even, and we got 6. So we saved ourselves 20 crystals there, right? Awesome. And then on the blue pieces here, we need to get 3 of these, we lose about 10 crystals. 4, we save ourselves 20 crystals. So we're going to go ahead and farm these. Come on. I'm trying to remember when I actually smashed that button to farm. There we go. We got 4. So we saved ourselves 20 crystals. Again, 20 crystals doesn't sound like a lot, guys, right? But keep in mind that this is something that's not only going to happen on over the course of a day with multiple refreshes, but weeks, months, and a year, you're saving yourself a ton of crystals, right? Got to think about that down the road, how many crystals you're saving by farming these instead of just hoarding and buying them in the store, right? The last area we're going to look at is fleet energy. I've left mods off because mods are a completely different beast, and it gets into, did it roll speed and all that stuff. So we're not going to get into mods. I've got plenty of mod guides there. But we're going to look at these fusion furnaces. It is 35, you guys saw there, 3,500 for 100, or 3,500 crystals for 100 pieces, 35 per one. So in this example, I've got 6 energy here. We're going to go ahead and just spend that. All right, so we got 2. So we're already that's just free, right? So the first roll here, we're going to go, and we only get 1. All right, so we lost 15 crystals there. So we're going to go again, and we get 2, right? If you combine those 2 drops together, the 1 and the 2, we got 3 of those for 100 crystals total, right? Just for the ones we spent crystals on. That's 100, that's at 35 a piece, that's 105 crystal cost via the shipments, and we only spent 100. So even with bad drops on this, we still ended out coming out ahead, right? And that was with some terrible drops. So hopefully this helps you guys, throughout the game, right? Hopefully you guys are starting to see that we don't want, that the best use of your energy is refreshing it, right? Don't just hoard and buy it in the shipments because it looks fancy, right? It's much smarter to spend our time, using crystals every day on energy. So I'm just kind of showing that you can also use those pieces for relic salvage as well. So again, by farming, we're boosting our overall roster as a whole. So we're going to come down and I'm going to show you guys another, just some other math. I know there's a lot of math in this video. I'm an accountant. I can't help it. I'm sorry. So we're going to use our Chirotech example again. So if you save yourself 200 crystals a day, right? You're going to say, I get 200 crystals a day. I'm going to save them. And at the end of a week, I'm going to buy Chirotechs. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do some math here to show you guys over the course of that week via crystal refreshes what you could potentially do with a 20% drop rate. 20% isn't a lot, right? That's less than 2 pieces per drop, right? That's just numbers. So we're going to go down to that node. So it's 10 energy node. A refresh gives us 120 energy. So 3 refreshes is 360 energy. And again, we're not even counting free energy here, guys. We're just counting energy you're spending crystals on. So that's 36 attempts overall. Multiplied by a 20% drop rate gets us 7.2 Chirotechs per day. Multiply that out over a week and you've got 50. Why is that significant? So that's the full piece that you would have paid. except you saved yourself 50 crystals a day because you only spent 150 crystals on refreshes. So we've far surpassed whatever we would have paid for in, crystals for this example here, right? I'm just checking how much time we have left in the video, guys. Just want to make sure that we're doing this, properly. So again, guys, hopefully this gives you some perspective as to how I'm spending my crystals. Hopefully this helps you guys in your own pursuits of being more efficient in this game, getting through faster, and hopefully, understanding more and more of how endgame players are using our crystals. As always, if you're still watching, Wampa is King in the comments. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers.